Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Councilmember Wilbur is absent. Approval of the agenda. Do we have any additions?
Just that updated consent agenda that's on your...
Okay. Council have anything?
No.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe,
I'll second.
second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Approval of the minutes of the October 18th, 2023 regular meeting. I'll receive them in your packet. Is there any changes, corrections, or clarification needed within those minutes? Hearing nothing, do I have a motion to approve the minutes of the October 18th meeting?
Motion to approve. I'll second.
Diane, seconded by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
Motion carries 3 in favor, none against, 1 abstention. This now brings us to our public open forum. Is there anyone in the audience that wants to speak to the council? Is there anyone that would like to speak to the council? Call a third time. Is there anyone that would like to speak to the council? Our public open forum is now closed. We have no public hearings. We will now move on to reports and presentations. EDA report. Vicki?
So the EDA met today in regular session at noon. First thing they did was they reviewed the financials for the Small Cities Development Program, and that was from its inception back in 2005. So we kind of went through the loans and what's been paid back and what cash is available. And then they also have 2 SCDB loans that they are recommending tonight. They're agenda items for you. And they're also recommending utilizing the billboard to advertise the author's edition lots. So the 2 action items you will have is the SCDP loans later on the agenda.
Any questions, concerns? Okay, then we will move on to action items. 7A, approve appointment of patrol officer.
So following the resignation of Officer Stoll from the police department, and you had that on a previous agenda, the position was internally posted to allow part-time officers to express interest in the position. Following the 10-day posted notice, 1 officer expressed interest in the advancement to full-time. The department recommends that Letitia Harden be advanced to full-time position at step 1, effective with her first full-time scheduled shift. So that is the action we're looking for tonight, is to approve the advancement of Letitia Harden to a full-time patrol officer position.
Questions, comments? Otherwise, do I have a motion to approve the advancement?
Motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion by Joe, second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7B, approve appointments, Public Works Maintenance.
So with the recent vacancies in the Public Works, the positions were advertised and interviews were conducted, and we have a few recommendations. For the full-time Public Works Maintenance position, we're recommending Andrew Durkis. And for the Public Works Seasonal to work at the arena, and this is mainly on weekends, is Patrick Gonzalez. And then also we have Sarah Linau will be returning as the figure skating instructor. So what we're looking to is approve the appointments of Andrew Durkis as Public Work Maintenance, Patrick Gonzalez as the seasonal employment for the arena, and Sarah Linau as the figure skating instructor.
Okay. Questions or concerns? Otherwise, do I have a motion to approve the appointments?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Diane. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7C, approve pay request number 6, Authors Edition, Keekly Underground.
So this is pay request 6. It's been submitted for payment to Keekly Underground for the 2023 Authors Project. As you know, the contract amount started out at $1,334,774, and then we added that intersection change order. So that increased that. We have the value completed to date of $1,385,153. So they've earned $1,354,287. Excuse me, I have that wrong. That's the total contract is $1,385, and they've earned $1,354. There's some work to be done yet. We have a retainage has been reduced to 2%, so $27,085 we're retaining back. We previously paid $1,160,000, so that leaves $166,545.11 for this request. So that is pay request number 6 to Keekly Underground for $166,545.11.
Questions, comments?
You said retainage was 27,285 or 27,85, 75?
85,
Okay,
08575.
okay.
Any other comments, questions? Do I have a motion to approve pay request number 6?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi, do I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7D, approve resolution 2023-78 granting minor subdivision.
So S. William Property Management, AKA Kelly Kerfeld, is the owner of a twin home located at 700 and 702 Prospect Avenue. He's applied for a minor subdivision to split the twin home along the party wall. The party wall is constructed to the 2-wire firewall as required by code for a split unit. In addition, each unit has separate utility hookups, although an easement would be required where services cross the property. Each unit has adequate off-street parking. We have a recent survey of the property has been provided, but the legal descriptions of the resulting parcels will have to be prepared by a registered land surveyor. So where I show the dashed dotted line on the survey, that is where the split would occur in the party wall. We'd have to have a registered land surveyor actually write those final legal descriptions. So as with all individual parcels of record, the following conditions would apply. Each side of the twin home would be served by independent utility services, which they do. Easements to be recorded where necessary to facilitate independent services, because their services go out to Grove Lake Street. That's why we're having to go across there. The final legal descriptions to be prepared by a registered land surveyor, and a party wall agreement to be executed by all parties recorded on the property. So what that is laid out in Resolution 2023-78, granting the minor subdivision.
Questions, concerns? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2023-78?
Motion. I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Joe, second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7E, approve SCDP loan, Hellerman.
So I have 2 of them in front of you. The first one is for Eric Hellerman. It is for 526 Sinclair Lewis Avenue, which has 2 rental units, and a large amount of renovation is proposed or has been completed for a total renovation cost of $34,068. The EDA, after their meeting, it reduced the scope to a total of $11,000 of renovations for a city participation of the owner shares $3,300 with an average of $3,850. So the city would pay $7,700 and the owner would pay $3,300 toward that project. And the final amount to be presented for payment and execution of loan agreements at a later date. The one thing we have to do here is some of the work has been completed, and so we need to make sure that that didn't kind of jump the gun on us, and to try to separate out what parts are actually eligible. So we have the approval to go up to that amount, but we still have a little work to do on that application. So we're looking for preliminary approval of the deferred loan in the amount of $11,000 with the city share of $7,700.
Okay, questions, concerns? Do I have a motion to allow the preliminary approval?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Diane, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Heidi. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7F, approve SCDP loan, Bergman.
So this as well is very similar. Lindsay Bergman has property at 101 Pine Street South, and that is also 2 rental units, and she's doing a large amount of renovation for the project. This project did receive funding through this program in 2006 for primarily windows, roofing, and siding. So what they're looking at tonight is more code deficiencies, and the majority of it is electrical, to get electrical services independently to the 2 units. And then the other part of it is spray foam insulation. She actually has a total project cost of $51,855. And again, the EDA reduced that to a total of $11,000 of renovation for city participation of $7,700, which is the average of $3,850 per rental unit. That's kind of their guideline that they've been using because we've had so many of these and they're trying to remain consistent. So again, we would have that final amount to be presented for payment and execution of a loan agreement at a later date. So we're looking for preliminary approval of the deferred loan and grant for a total of $11,000 to Lindsay Bergman at 101 Pine Street.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the preliminary?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Unfinished business, agreements with bargaining unit, police and public works.
Yep, just to let you know that we've been meeting with the bargaining units for Teamsters, which is the Public Works, and then we'll be meeting Monday for the new LELS union for the police department, and we have their proposals. So we're hoping within the next week to wrap up those union agreements to come back to the council at the next meeting. And so we meet tomorrow again with the Public Works, and then Monday with the police, and we're hopeful that we can wrap it up. I don't know, maybe I'm optimistic, but that's the direction that we're going. But there's no action tonight, it's just update.
Okay. Any questions about that? Otherwise, we'll move on. New business, personnel policy amendment, earned sick and safe time.
I just provided you with the flyer for the Earned Sick and Safe Time. That's the legislation from 2023 that'll go into effect January 21st. We have a pretty robust sick time policy, but for our full-time employees, but what this does is it kind of expands what a family unit is that you can use it for, and it expands the ways you can use it. So that's the thing that'll have to be a recommendation that'll come back on, hopefully again on the November 15th meeting, exactly how we will implement that into our existing policy. But what this also requires that all employers, even if you only have one employee, have to provide this service or provide this. So we are part-time, our seasonal, our firefighters, our ambulance, everybody will be eligible for this earned sick and safe time. So we need to figure out how we're going to implement that into our existing system. So we will have an update to the personnel policy for a future meeting, and it's likely there'll be some language changes in the union contracts. So we're kind of paralleling that with the union contracts, so we're all the same. So, and I'm sure everybody in the state of Minnesota is kind of wrestling with this right now on how to make this work. In fact, one of the questions is city councilmen, whether they're eligible for it as well. So there's a lot of questions have gone back to the legislature about what did you really mean when you said this? You know, like how do you do a volunteer fireman sick time? You know, are they gonna come in and sign in and then go home because they're sick? I don't know. So we'll work through it.
Okay.
So there's no action tonight, it's just information.
Okay. Any questions about that? Okay, then we'll move on to our consent agenda. We have a schedule of claims, unpaid claims of $142,298.88. And we have resolution number 2023-79, accepting contributions of $142.70 from the Men's Card Playing Club to be allocated to the Senior Center, and $100 from Pamela Veeder to be allocated to the Senior Center. And on behalf of the city and the council, I want to thank those groups for their donation. We also have gambling application for exempt permit requests from Sauk Center Snow Cleats for a raffle on March 24th, 2024 at the Snow Cleats Clubhouse. Is there any questions about the consent agenda? If not, I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Heidi. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. We have no informational items, but we will be recessing this meeting and going into closed meeting for attorney-client privilege. So we will ask everyone to please clear the. Okay, the council has met in closed meeting. We are now back into regular session of the regular council meeting. Results of the closed meeting was the council directed staff to bring more information for us to make a more solid determination on the subject that we discussed. So, is there anything else from the council? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Heidi,
Second.
second by Diane. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Meeting adjourned.